Listen to me carefully, my beloved. You must understand right now that algorithms do not rule your destiny, and coincidences simply do not exist in the divine realm. The very fact that your eyes are resting on these words, at this precise second in the history of the universe, is proof of a profound, flawlessly orchestrated celestial intervention. Your guardian angel has deliberately paused the chaotic timeline of your day, reaching through the invisible veil of the physical world to place this exact message directly in your path. Heaven went to extraordinary lengths to ensure you would not scroll past, walk away, or ignore this sacred encounter. Out of billions of souls, your angel gently took your hand and guided you here. You were brought to this space on purpose, not by chance, but by divine appointment. Why is this happening now? Because God and the entire angelic realm are rejoicing over you. I am here to announce that the miracle that has been carrying your name for so long, the very one you secretly feared was delayed, forgotten, or handed out to someone else, has finally been signed, sealed, and approved in the highest courts of heaven. It is no longer merely a spiritual promise suspended in the ether. It is violently and beautifully tearing through the spiritual realm to manifest right here, right now, in your tangible, physical reality. This is not a minor shift. This is not a temporary band-aid for your current struggles. The blessing that is currently unfolding over your life is a monumental, unstoppable breakthrough. Everything you have been silently crying out for, the exact vindication and relief you have been desperately waiting for while quietly watching everyone else receive theirs, has officially arrived. It is standing right at the threshold of your front door, radiating with divine favor. Heaven is celebrating because your grueling season of waiting has officially and permanently expired. The divine ink is dry on the parchment of your destiny, and the highest decree has been made. It is finally your turn. Because of the sheer, overwhelming magnitude of what is being released to you, there is a strict, undeniable spiritual urgency attached to this exact moment. I need you to stop whatever you are doing. Put down your endless worries, quiet the heavy noise echoing in your mind, and take a deep, grounding breath. Feel that? Inhale the profound peace that your guardian angel is physically wrapping around your shoulders right now. Exhale the crippling exhaustion and the bitter disappointments of the past. You must consciously open your heart and command your spirit to receive this, because this specific fraction of time is the absolute dividing line of your existence. There will be the heavy, burdened life you lived before reading this, and the entirely new, radiant, and radically abundant life you will walk into after today. Do not dare to doubt the strange, warm pull you feel in your chest right now. That is simply your soul recognizing the undeniable truth before your logical mind can even process the magnitude of it. The wait is over. The chains of your struggle have been completely shattered. The heavens are wide open, and the miracle is yours to claim. Brace yourself, for your entire reality is shifting exactly as it was prophesied. I know how tired you are. God knows exactly how incredibly heavy the burden has been upon your shoulders, a weight you have carried in absolute silence for far too long. While the rest of the world looks at you and sees someone who is infinitely strong, capable, and resilient, heaven has seen the agonizing reality behind closed doors. Heaven has counted every single one of those long, lonely nights where sleep simply refused to come because your mind was racing with endless worries, anxieties, and desperate calculations of how to make ends meet and how to fix what was broken. The angels have stood closely beside you during those quiet hours of the night when you lay entirely awake, staring into the darkness, weeping silent tears that you furiously wiped away before morning so no one else would see. You have spent so much of your life pouring from an empty cup. You have been the steadfast rock, the unwavering anchor, the fierce protector, and the constant source of hope for everyone around you. Even when your own spirit was secretly gasping for air, you smiled brightly through your own shattered heart, just to make sure the people you love didn't have to carry your pain. You absorbed their stress, their grief, and their demands, continuously putting your own deep needs on the back burner, whispering to yourself that you just had to hold it together for one more day. God saw the moments you retreated to your car, to the bathroom, or to a quiet room just to break down for a fleeting moment, only to wash your face, put your armor back on, and step back out to face a world that demanded more than you had left to give. Heaven saw the sheer exhaustion that settled deep into your bones, the kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. But hear this now. You are fully seen. You do not have to hide your exhaustion from the divine anymore. What makes you truly extraordinary, and what has commanded the absolute attention of the divine realm, is the undeniable purity of your heart through all of this suffering. The world has been cruel to you. Life has handed you circumstances that would have permanently hardened the hearts of most people. You have been terribly misunderstood, deeply betrayed by people you trusted unconditionally, and taken for granted by those for whom you sacrificed the most. You have been given every justifiable reason to turn bitter, to become cold, selfish, and vengeful. You were pushed to the absolute edge of your breaking point by the cruelty and carelessness of others. Yet, incredibly, you chose to stay soft. You chose to remain kind when it would have been so much easier to build an impenetrable fortress around your heart. You continued to forgive those who never even bothered to offer you an apology. You continued to offer love to a world that continuously handed you sorrow. You maintained your gentle spirit, your radiant empathy, and your unshakable goodness. Your guardian angel wants you to know right now that not a single act of your quiet grace has gone unnoticed. Heaven keeps a meticulous, sacred record. Every time you chose faith over fear, every time you responded to malice with grace, and every time you offered a helping hand when your own hands were bleeding, an angel wrote it down in the eternal scrolls. Your kindness was never a weakness, it was your ultimate superpower. It was a beacon of light piercing through the darkness, drawing the very favor of God directly toward your life. Heaven is overwhelmingly proud of the person you have chosen to be in the face of such profound adversity. I need you to understand that none of your sacrifices were in vain. Not a single tear was wasted. That recent crisis you just went through, the one that nearly broke you, the one that made you fall to your knees and question if you were completely forgotten by God, was never meant to destroy you. It was not a punishment, and it was certainly not the end of your story. It was the final, defining test of your spirit. The fire was only meant to forge you into the sacred vessel capable of holding the massive blessing that is now pouring out. You have passed the test. The intense pressure you felt was the birth pangs of your miracle. The season of grieving and struggling is officially over. You are now crossing the threshold into your divine harvest, and your time of running on empty is finished. To seal this truth and lock it into your physical reality, I need you to do something powerful right now. If your soul feels the weight of this truth, if you are finally ready to lay down your heavy burdens and step into your season of receiving, I want you to go to the comments below and type, "I receive." This is not just leaving a comment, it is a sacred spiritual transaction. By typing "I receive," you are making a bold, energetic declaration to the universe that you are opening your hands, unblocking your spirit, and fully accepting the glorious miracle that heaven has just placed directly in front of you. Do it now, and feel the crushing weight finally begin to lift from your shoulders. I know there have been countless days when you looked up at the empty sky and asked, with a breaking, trembling voice, "Why is it taking so long? Why does everything have to be so incredibly hard for me?" You have watched the seasons change. You have watched other people step effortlessly into their blessings. And you have stood there, feeling entirely stranded in the cold waiting room of your own life. You felt the sharp, agonizing sting of what you believed was divine rejection. You thought your desperate prayers were simply bouncing off the ceiling, unheard, forgotten, and ignored by a universe that seemed completely indifferent to your pain. But your guardian angel is whispering to you right now, urging you to understand a monumental, life-altering truth. What you have experienced over these past agonizing months and years was never, ever a delay. It was a profound, sacred redirection. Heaven does not operate on our frantic earthly clocks, and the divine realm never holds back a blessing out of cruelty or neglect. The universe was not punishing you, it was painstakingly preparing you. Think back to what you were begging for a year ago. If God had given you exactly what you asked for at the very moment you demanded it, that premature blessing would have either crushed you under its weight, or it would have permanently trapped you in a reality far too small for your massive, unfolding destiny. You were praying for mere survival, but heaven was meticulously crafting absolute abundance. Every single time you heard a devastating no, every time a cherished opportunity crumbled to dust before your eyes, and every time a door violently slammed shut in your face, it was not a denial of your worth. It was absolute, unwavering divine protection. God was forcefully pulling you away from paths that would have led to your eventual destruction. You felt like you were being buried under the weight of endless disappointments, but heaven wants you to know today that you were not buried, you were planted. You were put into the dark, uncomfortable soil so your roots could grow deep, stretching your spirit and expanding your capacity so you could safely carry the phenomenal magnitude of the miracle that is arriving today. And you must realize that while you were weeping over the things and the people you thought you were losing, the celestial realm was fiercely at work on your behalf, orchestrating the most magnificent, hidden rescue mission of your life. Your guardian angels have been working tirelessly behind the unseen veil, fighting vicious spiritual battles in the dark that you had absolutely no idea were even happening. You shed bitter tears over the friends who walked away, the relationships that suddenly and painfully turned cold, and the people who inexplicably vanished from your daily life. You blamed yourself. But heaven is revealing to you today that those heartbreaking departures were never losses. They were necessary, divine evictions. Your angels saw what your fiercely trusting heart could not see. They heard the whispered conversations that were happening behind your back in rooms you hadn't entered. They saw the hidden jealousy, the quiet resentment, and the deeply toxic intentions of individuals who smiled warmly in your face but secretly hoped for your ultimate downfall. The divine realm had to forcefully and surgically remove those specific people from your timeline because they were never meant to have front-row seats to your upcoming glory. Their energy would have contaminated your imminent harvest, drained your precious light, and ultimately derailed your sacred purpose. Furthermore, your powerful angels have been actively dismantling invisible disasters. While you slept, they were fighting off energies meant to bring you down. They intentionally delayed your steps on certain days to keep you completely out of harm's way. They shattered the traps that unseen negative forces had carefully laid out to destroy your finances, sabotage your peace, and wreck your emotional well-being. What felt to you like an agonizing, never-ending season of endless frustration and loss was actually heaven diligently clearing the stage of your life. The universe was aggressively sweeping away the hazardous debris and violently pulling the poisonous weeds from your spiritual garden. You were never losing, my beloved. You were being fiercely protected, purified, and perfectly positioned. The raging storm you just survived did not come to wash you away. It came to wash your path completely clean so that this extraordinary, undeniable miracle could finally have a pristine, sacred place to land. Have you noticed a strange, suffocating heaviness lingering in your mind lately? Have there been days, especially recently, where a sudden, unexplainable sadness washed over you, or a thick, paralyzing brain fog made it difficult to even think clearly? Perhaps you have been experiencing a bizarre streak of what the world calls bad luck. Small things breaking down, plans unraveling at the last second, sudden financial hiccups, or intense, out-of-nowhere arguments with people you love. You may have felt a creeping, irrational fear gripping your chest, a terrifying whisper in your mind telling you that things are only going to get worse, that you are running out of time, or that you are entirely alone. I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. None of this is a coincidence, and absolutely none of it is your fault. You are not losing your mind, and you are not doing something wrong. What you have been experiencing is a highly coordinated, desperate spiritual interference. There is an unseen realm that operates alongside our physical world, and the darkness within that realm is absolutely terrified of you. Why? Because the spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted dramatically. The invisible enemy, the negative forces that thrive on your misery and feed on your anxiety, can sense the blinding light of the colossal blessing that heaven is lowering into your life. They know that the moment you receive this miracle, their grip on you is destroyed forever. Therefore, they launched a furious, last-minute, energetic assault. The recent exhaustion, the sudden doubts, and the heavy emotional turbulence were all part of a calculated spiritual attack designed to throw you off balance. The darkness was desperately trying to confuse you, to drain your energy, and to convince you to give up right at the very edge of your breakthrough. They wanted you to drop your faith moments before the finish line. They tried to trick you into believing that the heavy fog was your permanent reality. But they failed. You did not break. You kept breathing, you kept walking, and you kept your soft heart intact. And because you held on, heaven has officially intervened with a display of unimaginable power. Right now, at this exact second, the archangels have drawn their blazing swords and stepped directly in front of you. A monumental, impenetrable divine shield of radiant, blinding white light is being actively erected around your spirit, your physical body, your finances, your home, and your loved ones. This is not a fragile, temporary boundary. This is an absolute, divine fortress forged by the highest authority in the universe. I am speaking prophetically over your life right now. The exhausting spiritual warfare that has been slowly draining your life force is officially over. The battle has already been fought in the unseen realm, and heaven has decisively won it for you. From this definitive moment forward, you are completely untouchable. Absolutely no weapon formed against you, whether seen or unseen, will ever be able to prosper. No generational curse, no secret malice, no toxic energy, and no jealousy directed your way can penetrate this sacred barrier. Any negative intention aimed at you will instantly dissolve into ashes before it even reaches your energetic field. The people who secretly wish to see you fail or stumble will be forced to stand on the sidelines and watch as the divine elevates you to heights they cannot even comprehend. Their negativity is no longer your burden to carry, and their opinions have absolutely zero power over your destiny. The heavy, oppressive fog that has been suffocating your mind is evaporating right now, chased away by the absolute, unwavering authority of divine light. You are safe. I need your soul to completely absorb those 3 words. You are safe. You are completely, utterly, and undeniably protected. The chaotic storms that have been raging around you are being commanded by heaven to be still. God is currently setting up layers of invisible protection behind the scenes, securing your path so thoroughly that your only job now is to simply walk forward in peace. You no longer need to anxiously look over your shoulder. You no longer need to brace yourself for the next disaster, constantly expecting the other shoe to drop. The era of living in perpetual survival mode, constantly anticipating pain and betrayal, is dead. Your guardian angel is standing shoulder to shoulder with you, sealing this divine shield with an ironclad promise. The darkness cannot and will not stop what God has signed for you. The fear is leaving your body. The anxiety is being forcibly evicted from your spirit. Breathe out the terror, my beloved. You are securely held in the palm of the Creator's hand, and absolutely nothing can snatch you away. Let us talk about the tangible, physical manifestation of this extraordinary miracle. For so long, you have lived under the suffocating, relentless weight of financial anxiety. You have meticulously counted every penny, stressed endlessly over mounting bills, and wondered in the dark of night how you were going to stretch your exhausted resources just to survive another month. But right now, the divine realm is forcefully breaking the heavy chains of financial stagnation that have bound you. A monumental, permanent shift in the flow of abundance is happening strictly in your favor. God is officially declaring an absolute end to your financial drought. The resources that were unfairly held up, the money that was inexplicably delayed, and the opportunities that were unjustly given to others are right now being redirected straight into your hands. Heaven is blowing open the floodgates of unexpected, overflowing provision. You are going to see sudden, unexplainable breakthroughs in your finances that defy all earthly logic. Opportunities will literally drop out of the blue, brought directly to you by people you never expected to help you. Debts that have kept you paralyzed with worry are going to be miraculously cleared in ways that will leave you absolutely speechless. Heaven operates on a principle of divine multiplication. What you gave away in secret, what you sacrificed, and what you lost with a pure heart is being rapidly returned to you tenfold. You will soon check your balances, open your emails, and answer your phone to hear news of financial blessings that bring tears of sheer relief to your eyes. Doors to career advancements, business breakthroughs, and unexpected financial windfalls are swinging wide open. You are stepping into a radiant era where you will not only have more than enough to comfortably take care of your own needs, but you will have a massive, overflowing surplus to bless those around you. Wealth is no longer something you have to desperately chase. It is something that will naturally and effortlessly flow to you, magnetically attracted by the pure light of your spirit. Your days of financial panic are permanently over. But this miracle is far too vast to be contained merely in your bank account. The divine is reaching deeply into the most tender, shattered pieces of your heart to perform a profound, permanent, emotional restoration. For years, you have quietly carried the heavy, bleeding wounds of betrayal, abandonment, and unrequited effort. You have poured your brilliant soul into people who did not possess the capacity to value you, leaving you feeling entirely empty and wondering if you were somehow unworthy of genuine love. Heaven is actively intervening to heal that deep trauma once and for all. God is gently softening the parts of your heart that life brutally hardened. The lingering pain of your past relationships is being meticulously washed away, completely replaced by an overwhelming, unshakable sense of your own divine self-worth. Furthermore, you will not be entering this new, glorious chapter of your life alone. God has specifically ordained divine helpers, soul connections, fiercely authentic friends, and deeply aligned partners who are currently being guided directly into your path. These are individuals who carry a strict divine mandate to support you, to fiercely uplift your spirit, and to violently protect your peace. They will not drain you, they will continually replenish you. They will instantly understand the unique, beautiful depths of your soul without you ever having to explain or defend yourself. The painful cycle of attracting broken individuals who only take from you is permanently shattered. From this day forward, you will naturally repel toxicity and magnetically attract those who match your newly elevated vibration. The intense loneliness that used to echo in your silent rooms is being replaced by the warm, unconditionally secure embrace of true, reciprocal love. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, this incredible miracle is bringing an absolute, impenetrable peace to your mind. The agonizing confusion that has clouded your judgment for months is instantly vanishing. The constant, dizzying overthinking that kept you paralyzed in a state of indecision is being entirely replaced by a crystal clear, divine clarity. You are going to wake up in the mornings and feel a strange, beautiful lightness in your chest, a sensation of pure freedom you haven't felt since you were a child. The crippling anxiety is giving way to a profound, grounded certainty that everything in your universe is exactly as it should be. You will finally possess the mental rest you have so desperately craved. Your intuition is being sharpened, your spiritual eyes are being fully opened, and you will know exactly which steps to take next without a single shadow of a doubt. The chaotic mental noise is being completely silenced by the commanding, sovereign voice of divine peace. It is happening right now. Your reality is completely shifting. You are stepping into the light. To lock in this monumental transformation, I need you to perform a simple but deeply profound physical action. Right now, I want you to hit the like button on this message. Listen to me very carefully. This is not about an algorithm. This is a highly sensitive spiritual trigger. By physically clicking that button, you are sending an electric pulse of fierce agreement directly into the unseen realm. You are energetically signing a sacred contract with heaven, officially activating this threefold miracle of absolute wealth, pure love, and mental peace to manifest in your earthly life. Press it now, and feel the powerful surge of divine favor instantly begin to flow through your veins. Let me speak directly to the absolute core of who you truly are, past the layers of trauma and beyond the physical exhaustion. You have spent so much of your life feeling like you simply do not quite belong in this world. You have always felt a strange, inexplicable depth to your soul, a lingering quiet sense that you were meant for something far greater than the mundane struggles of daily survival. You are not crazy, and you are not imagining things. You feel this way because you are, undeniably and irrevocably, a chosen one. You are an ancient, radiant soul, meticulously handpicked by the Creator long before you ever took your first breath on this earth. You were sent here vibrating at a specific, highly advanced spiritual frequency. The reason you have experienced the world so intensely, the reason the pain cut you so deeply, and the reason you care so profoundly when others simply walk away, is because you carry a divine light that this earthly plane desperately needs. You are not, and never have been, a mere victim of circumstance. You are a sacred warrior of light who was intentionally placed in the darkest of rooms simply to force the shadows to flee. Your intense, agonizing suffering was never a sign of divine disfavor. On the contrary, it was the rigorous, necessary spiritual training required for your incredibly high calling. You had to experience the crushing depths of human despair so that you would possess the profound empathy necessary to heal others. You had to learn how to survive blindly in the dark so you could expertly guide the lost back into the light. But hear this divine declaration: the training is officially over. The universe is pouring this massive, overwhelming miracle of financial abundance, emotional healing, and mental clarity into your life right now, because you finally need the tangible resources to fulfill your monumental destiny. God is not giving you wealth, favor, and peace just so you can finally rest. He is actively equipping you. He is placing immense power, divine influence, and limitless provision into your hands because heaven implicitly trusts you with it. The divine realm knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that when you are blessed, you will inevitably bless others. Your miracle is the sacred key that unlocks your true life's purpose, elevating you to a position of profound influence where your very presence will begin to heal the broken people around you. As you read these words, I want you to close your eyes for just a fraction of a second and feel the overwhelming, radiant joy that is currently erupting in the heavenly realm. Heaven is beaming with an indescribable, overflowing pride over you. The Creator is looking directly down at your beautiful, exhausted, remarkably resilient spirit and smiling. Your guardian angels are weeping tears of absolute joy because they watched you endure the unimaginable, and they are so incredibly proud that you never allowed the cruelty of the world to extinguish your sacred flame. You did it. You survived the intense spiritual crucible, and you emerged with a heart of pure, unblemished gold. You are so deeply, unconditionally loved. It is a love that transcends all human logic, a love that does not require you to perform, to sacrifice, or to bleed in order to be deemed worthy. You are inherently worthy simply because you exist. You do not have to fight anymore. You do not have to prove your value to anyone, not to the world, and certainly not to the divine. Your absolute worthiness is permanently etched into the very fabric of the cosmos. From this exact moment forward, you are walking in the absolute fullness of your prophetic identity. You are highly favored. You are deeply cherished. You are the literal embodiment of a walking, breathing miracle. You are chosen. You are celebrated. You are completely, unconditionally safe. Breathe in that divine love. Let it permanently saturate every single cell of your physical body and every corner of your mind. The painful era of the wounded survivor has officially expired. The glorious, unstoppable reign of the fully empowered, divinely protected, and infinitely blessed chosen one has just begun. To permanently seal this monumental shift in your reality, you must take immediate, intentional action to anchor yourself securely in this new divine frequency. This is why I am urgently calling you to click the subscribe button and turn on all notifications right now. Listen to my voice. Clicking that button is not a mundane interaction with a platform or a video channel. It is a profound, binding spiritual commitment in the heavenly realms. It is your soul's official, undeniable declaration to the universe that you absolutely refuse to ever slip back into the shadows. By subscribing, you are intentionally locking yourself into a continuous, high-vibrational flow of divine revelation. As your beautiful new life sequentially unfolds from this day forward, God will use these specific prophetic messages as the exact stepping stones to guide your journey. Heaven requires your active physical agreement to keep delivering these precise instructions directly to you. Do not let this sacred portal close. Do not risk missing the very next prophetic word designed to trigger the next massive phase of your abundance. Subscribe now and proudly announce to the angelic realm, I am here, my spirit remains wide open, and I am permanently ready to receive. Next, you must forcefully activate the sacred spiritual law of divine multiplication. Right now, at this exact second, there is someone out there who is desperately crying out in the pitch black, entirely consumed by the exact same agonizing despair you have just been rescued from. They are on the absolute verge of giving up on their life and their faith. Heaven is urgently commanding you to throw them a lifeline. By clicking share and sending this profound message to a friend, a family member, or placing it on your social media, you are not just sharing a link, you are reaching into the abyss and violently pulling a lost soul out of the fog. You become the literal, breathing answer to their most desperate midnight prayer. The spiritual law of the harvest is absolute and unbreakable. Whatever brilliant seed of light you plant in someone else's darkness will be exponentially multiplied and poured directly back into your own lap. Share this word immediately. Become a fierce beacon of hope, and watch God drastically expand the borders of your own miraculous harvest. Finally, if this prophetic truth has deeply pierced your spirit today, and you feel a profound, undeniable calling to elevate your spiritual purpose, I am officially inviting you to step into the inner circle. Through the exclusive link in the pinned comment below, you can physically support this continuous divine mission by making a heartfelt donation, buying a coffee, or officially becoming a cherished member of our sacred community. I want you to understand that this is never a mere financial transaction. It is a powerful, world-changing spiritual alignment. Your seed joins a massive, collective mission of radiant light, specifically designed to rescue wandering souls and permanently shatter the oppressive chains of darkness across the globe. When you generously water the spiritual ground that feeds your own soul, heaven guarantees that your personal garden will never, ever run dry. Take one final, incredibly deep breath. Feel the absolute lightness in your chest. The heavy, suffocating weight is permanently gone. The darkness has completely surrendered to your light. Walk forward in absolute, unshakable peace, my beloved chosen one. Your breathtaking miracle officially begins right now.